Well, good morning. Uh, this video, actually, the topic has been working on me for some time, and the title is a question. Is it possible to know what is true? A few days ago, I was asked how I determine what is true and what isn't. I've thought about that since then. I've come to the conclusion, for me at least, that it is a matter of the heart, as Anastasia says, not the mind that has been programmed by the world of delusion. Sorry about the pause there. Nevertheless, it would seem from experience that my heart's longing has betrayed me many times. My heart tells me the kingdom of heaven is real. My experience seems to reveal the opposite, that it is only a dream that cannot manifest in the real world. I want to touch on this subject today, as I probably will again and again. It's something we all have to deal with in a world of conflicting opinions that are often presented as truth. Indeed, someone did ask me recently uh, how I determine the truth. How do I determine what's true? And I made the statement, I don't study. But I didn't mean that literally, of course, because I've read lots and lots and lots of things in my life. I've spent hours reading things on the internet alone in the past decade. I mean, even before I started making daily videos, I was spending a lot of time on the internet reading, trying to figure out who was telling the truth. And I've come to this conclusion. Most people on this planet have no clue what truth is. I mentioned in the blurb Anastasia. I'm reading now Co-Creation. And she explains to Vladimir, who, like me, was educated in this world, unlike her, who received absolutely zero education in this world. She got everything intuitively by actual experience with creation and creator, who manifests through creation. Everything in her world is provided. There's no lack. There's nothing, there's nothing to fix, because her world is perfect. Her world, she has all she needs. Now, of course, that's not my experience. That was not Vladimir's experience as he was writing the story of his encounters with this amazing lady who I consider a female Christ of the 20th century and 21st century, although I don't know that any new books have come out in the 21st century. In any case, we don't get it, I'm convinced. We, in our Western, or I should say our modern educational system, we don't get it. There was a man, I should have thought of this later and written down his name. There was a man born in Germany, the beginning of the 20th century, ended up dying at age 55 because they were challenging him because he was healing people and not charging any money. And he was doing it without medicine. And I'm going to go to one of his conferences. He's still here, but he's just not in body. He's still here. He's going to be in, his team is going to be in Melbourne, Florida. A lady doctor from Germany who's part of his team. And in this moment, I don't even remember his name. I've mentioned it in previous videos. In any case, he had the innate ability, and it wasn't about money. It wasn't about the world system, and the world didn't understand it, and the world was angry at him, which is why he chose to leave at age 55 and come back where they couldn't touch him, come back in spirit only. And he, as I said, he shows up at conferences and things like that, and the healings still take place. What is it? This is 60 years later, something like that. In any case, knowing what is true is not a matter of intellectual prowess. It's not a matter of studying and reading books. I've done lots and lots and lots of that. It's a matter of the heart. That's what is so hard for our minds to grasp, because it's not about the mind. The mind has been programmed. The, the, the actual senses have been programmed to see certain things and not see other things. It's a program. It's a program of enslavement. It's a program that allows a small minority to dominate everyone else. That's not the kind of world I choose to continue to live in forever. I mean, I've had a vision of a better world, the kingdom of heaven on earth, since I was a boy. Now, granted, I don't describe it today like I would have described it when I was, say, 20 years old. It just isn't going to happen. But in any case, I still believe there's a kingdom of heaven on earth, but it's not really in its manifest form so that everyone can take advantage of it, as it were. It's a crazy thing that we don't see this, because there are many obvious signposts that we've been given in the 20th century, especially the latter half of the 20th century. There's a lot of truth out there, but we miss it because there's so much confusion mixed in with it. And that's the hard part. That's why I say we can't go by the mind. It's why I say I don't study these things. I have to feel them. I have to sense them. That's what Anastasia said in her books that were written by Vladimir Megre. It's about the heart. The heart knows. The heart is connected. It's always been that, even if it's that still small voice, there's always been that voice of truth that has spoken to us and told us it's not about knowledge, it's about love. Do you love yourself? Do you love one another and see others as part of you? If you don't get it. You don't get the interconnection. You think it's all separate. It doesn't matter. It matters every bit. It's all that matters, is that we finally end up seeing the interconnectedness of all life. When we get that, when we finally understand how creation works, maybe then we'll be able to have peace on earth. Maybe then we'll be able to stop all this bickering back and forth and fighting. And I won't have to block people because they just come out and attack because they think they know the answers. And if my answer is different, I'm wrong and they're right, and they argue with me. That's not about winning arguments. It's not, even for me, it's not about trying to convince you that I'm right. Those that resonate with what I'm saying will resonate. Those that don't may as well, just as I've said, go away, because you don't get it yet. You're operating on a different system than I am. And it's not the same system. It's not going to be the same system. I'm trying to get to where Anastasia is, as according to what Vladimir revealed in 9 books. This is, I think this one was book 4, and I'm holding it up for the 3rd time, Co-Creation. It's book 4. But I read the first 4 books in 4 days. Now you can see they're not little books. This one has 200 and no page number there. 215 is the last page, and it says to be continued. And they're all about 200 and something pages, all of them. And they're powerful, but they're coming from a totally different place than what most humans come from. And so it's going to seem like you're talking a different language, even though it's English, same language, but it's not going to resonate with everybody the same way. Anyway, it's a matter of the heart is the answer to the question. It is possible. You have to follow your heart. Thank you for listening, and namaste.